The masterclass on enhancing citizen access, the imperative of digital platforms and online services for safe, efficient, and seamless government services by Professor S. Sadagopan has been interesting and informative. Now we have a question and answer round. Our first question is: with all the technology advancements we have seen modernization in the banking and payment industry, what has or is changing in core healthcare sector with ABHA introduction? What is your advice for health tech organizations to bring more value in this sector?
I think it is important that whatever success we could do in payment, fintech, banking, etc., we should do it for healthcare. First and foremost, you will find AI will make deep inroads into AI, into healthcare. Once again, it is not that the doctors will become redundant. The same doctor will be able to kind of manage more patients. The same doctor will be able to give a much more holistic advice, because today he or she has to spend a lot of time thinking through, looking up, etc. But all these things will be done, okay, at the back end, so that finally maybe a chat GPT will give a report. By the time you finish the diagnostics and walk into the doctor's chamber, the doctor would have had an excellent summary of everything. He or she does not have to go through all of it. That is one level. The second thing is, I think thanks to IoT, I'm sure that we are seeing Apple Watch and other watches do Android Watch and Samsung Watch thing. So we are able to monitor people, particularly a large number of diabetic patients, etc. The biggest problem today is you have to constantly monitor. And remember, things do not happen like this. Things actually build up. Unfortunately, we do not know things are building up. And it's too expensive for somebody to go and give a test every day, etc. So monitoring will happen, constant monitoring. Third, you remember that coordinating between a simple blood bank was a big deal until yesterday. But today, every possible bank, whether it is blood bank or organs, etc., or maybe even availability of equipment, whether it is MRI, etc., I think it's going to be so seamlessly done. Just as you are actually booking for an Uber car or an Ola car, you should actually be able to say, where is the MRI available tomorrow between 12 to 2, maybe 200 kilometers or 2 kilometers from me. So something like that is possible. So our equipment utilization will go up. So obviously, for the same amount of money, we get much better care. So to sum it up, AI to give you better insight, AI to give you a big support to the doctors and other medical professionals, and AI essentially providing much better equipment utilization. So in a sense, we get more value for the money, you get much better care. And I think these are the two main things in healthcare, right? So can I provide better care to more people? Can I provide faster care to more people? Can I provide better care at low cost so that I can actually use that money for something else?
We are in the world of emerging technologies and now generative AI. Where do you see how effectively and realistically we are aligned with our tasks linked to larger objectives of educational transformation? What is the single most focus that can help us?
I think excellent question again. I think, I tell you, there are several aspects of NEP. I don't want to get into all of them. I think the one which to me is probably the most impactful is NEP recognizes the need for more and more interdisciplinary studies. And second, it also provides for a holistic way. See, I don't think that we should get too obsessed that a course must be 45 contact hours distributed over 3 hours over 15 weeks, and then it should cover X, Y, Z, etc. Today, the chances are a significant part of it, I'm not saying all, a significant part of it, you can actually direct the students to study and come back. So the notion of a flipped classroom is immensely possible, so that you can use the classroom much better. Second, yesterday in some other seminar, somebody was making an interesting comment that what was a PhD thesis 20 years back may actually be a homework project today. So what it means is it is possible to kind of challenge the students much more than what we were challenged when we were in the class. I think that is second thing which NEP kind of allows you, because you can have a mix of online, offline, project mode, etc., etc. And I think if only we kind of get out of our disciplines, a B school, a law school, a technical school, and a medical school coming together, I think we will find a much better solution to ethics in the context of healthcare in the post-GPT world, much better than any one of us doing it. I think that is what NEP provides for. But remember, you can only take the horse to water. The horse has to drink. So I think we academicians have been given the freedom that you can work across the discipline, work across the institutes, work across the country, work across the world. I think we should kind of take that opportunity and start running. So it is the ball is in our court.
Despite excellent advancements in computer technology in India, why are bank scams happening? Recently, COVID data leaked on Telegram. What is your take to arrest such practices?
All that my request is, always look at some of these things in the larger context. Okay? So remember, when we started, humankind took to flight. So there was lots of worries. And remember, there were a lot more accidents, etc. But today, accidents have come down significantly. But can you build a plane that is guaranteed not to fail, guaranteed not to have accidents? The answer is no. But remember, billions of people are flying, millions of flights are happening. Okay, we would like to have zero accident, but once in a while. So I think what a lot of times people don't realize is scam happens, the post-computerization. But what I would submit is many scams were happening, we did not even know. But today, in the technology world, you would know that scams have happened. Right? So relatively, it is much less. And things like leakage, etc. See, I mean, I am a philosopher at some level. I think thieves and police will always have competition. And my father used to have a very simple rule for the world. He said, look, Sadagopan, relax. The good Lord ensures that he makes only 1 out of a million into a rascal. Others are not. Right? There are not too many rascals which were created. But I think the world needs those rascals to make it more interesting. Otherwise, it will be boring. So my feeling is, I am a philosopher at that level. What I am saying is, compared to how many things could have happened, what happened is much, 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 much more. See, what you don't realize is, there are literally hundreds of millions of nodes, hundreds of millions of organizations which are participating in the internet commerce, right? In spite of that, okay, the leakages that are happening are once in a while. So I'm not justifying, but what you do is don't get alarmed simply because they are happening, okay? But I think every time we are getting better, we are getting better, we are getting better. So we will continue to get better. But I'm sure some smart fellow will still do something. This is my take on it. May not be up to your expectations, sorry, but this is my view. But in many of these things, there are multiple views. Thank you.
With biased social media, ChatGPT might give wrong answers relating to our history.
What you don't realize is, it is not that human beings are infallible. Right? We also make mistakes. Okay? I'm not justifying ChatGPT mistake. Okay? And second thing is that even today, you see, you realize that, look at Google 2004, just 20 years back. Okay? I don't know how many of you remember when you put a search, you will find absolutely crazy stuff coming together. I used to give this example to my students. Remember, what is the difference between Google and the core banking? Google, actually, honestly, it is true. 1999, if you type IT in Google, it will autocorrect to idiot. Okay, so that is the level to which it was doing. Okay, but remember, you go to a bank, it does not give you some other person's account. If there are 10 transactions, 9 are yours, 10 is your neighbor. Doesn't happen, right? But in Google, we used to have completely irrelevant stuff. But 20 years, Google have improved a lot. Okay, and that happens because a lot of learning, more data, etc., etc. So similarly, ChatGPT also will become much better, much better, much better. But at the same time, ChatGPT is no god. Okay, it is as human. In fact, much probably at this point in time, much worse than a human being. So it will make more mistakes. But I think what happens is you take a look at it. See, even when you are walking on a street, you go and ask somebody, "I want to go to this place." Somebody will say, "Go this way." Somebody will go this way. But what do? You somehow make an intelligent guess and kind of believe one of them and go, or maybe take the second opinion. So similarly, don't take ChatGPT as the gospel. But ChatGPT makes your life so easy because it gives you so many things in an analyzed, condensed, prioritized version. So use your brain. Now you can use your brain much better than to search and all are all done. Make it easier. Okay, so that is my take on it. The second one.
Suggestions of good set of programming languages and frameworks for developing citizen-centric population scale application.
See, to be honest, I'm not the best person for that. So remember that, okay, I am 72, I'm an old man. Okay, so question is, I am not in the job of building apps today. Okay, I kind of look at many apps, etc., etc. Many tools are coming, but I think you should ask I think even in the IT, don't ask any IT person. You should talk to the architects. The architects are the only people who discuss the emerging tools and the frameworks. Okay, but they constantly evolve. But you will find enough information about it in places, so you can still Google and get it, but talk to an architect. So I'm not the best person. Thank you.
How can technology be used to transform Indian public procurement system corporate sector that is massively transforming their supply chain operations through digital applications and they have the industry 4.0 best practices? How can the same be useful for digital transformation of Indian public procurement system?
And this is something which has been engaging our attention for the last 20 years. But I must admit, last 20 years, our pessimism has been proved wrong. Government has been doing a lot of interesting stuff. The ultimate example, you see, what people may not realize, twice vaccinating 1.4 billion people in about a year and a half in the form of a COVID-19 vaccination is a brilliant execution of supply chain. We managed it well. And in fact, it is more. It was just only delivering the vaccine. We also have to schedule a human being because a vaccine must be administered by a living human being on another living human being. And the person who got the shot must continue to be living human being for the next 2 hours. So that is the kind of complexity we are in. Second thing is that agricultural supply chain is getting lots of attention. There are a couple of startups in IIT Delhi, IIT Delhi has now a research center in transforming agriculture industry. They even have what is called an ATM for ration supply. If you are a worker from Bihar, you could be working in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, anywhere, and using your Aadhaar identified ration card, you can get your ration wherever you are thanks to that ATM. Those ATMs are being made. Okay, so how they will evolve, I don't know, but I think a lot of attention is happening, and government e-marketplace has been remarkable. The amount of stuff that you can do in GEM, government e-marketplace, so many institutions have been using it for last couple of years, and ONDC is happening. 2023 is going to be the year of ONDC, and we will give Amazon and Flipkarts and the Walmarts of the day a tough competition. So things are happening, but just wait.
How can you go about with identifying problems, especially when a state doesn't have all the resources?
So sometimes what you do is that start small, at the same time without really limiting yourself to small things. Let me kind of explain. But you see, even when GEM started, so we thought that we will possibly help in procuring one or two items for the government. We never thought we'll be able to do such a large scale and scope. Okay, and remember, thanks to the cloud, etc., you don't have to be in Bangalore to do it. You could actually be in Bulandshahr and still also be able to do. Okay, so what I mean, location is not a big disadvantage. It will be a disadvantage, but not a big disadvantage. And what I find is that if you can really, in fact, my friends from MIT keep telling me, he said, look, Sadagopan, you guys are lucky. We have to scratch our head to think of interesting research problems. You guys just have to come and stand on the road. You have so many problems staring at you. So obviously, there are lots and lots of problems which are staring at you. I think, I tell you, in Bangalore, there is a crying need for managing traffic. We are not doing it. Okay, so we can find fault with so many people, but the fact is that we have not come up with a complete solution. So similarly, what happens is, you might be in a small town. Imagine you are in Banganpalli. Banganpalli is a town where Banganpalli mangoes come. But the question is, how do I increase the yield by 100%? So not 5% or 10%. And the moment you want to do something like that, you will find there are enough of horticultural fellows who have lots and lots of technology, enough biotech guys who have lots and lots of technology, enough cold storage guys, railways have special wagons, etc. But what happens? Somebody has to put it together. So what happens if you get it right, year after year, you make a difference to 100,000 families because their income will double. Much more interesting is the wastage will be half. And I think you will be solving a genuine problem by an Indian for an Indian. Okay? So think of something like that. But start small, stay focused, don't look at the large picture. Okay, it may look very academic, but nonetheless it is true. Sorry, we are out of time, so we have to stop now. Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed this masterclass and thank you for watching. Don't forget to tune into our next one.